Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here, welcome back to the CounterSide video. Alright, today's video is gonna be about the patch coming in December 15th. So what is Global going to get? So let's have a look. Okay, so we're gonna cover the shop products. Let's see anything new specifically right here. Okay, so all of the Global is gonna get the 5+1 from the shop. You can buy that. Also, there's a basic intensive and salary basic training growth, etc. So I believe all of these are only purchasable with admin coins. So if you are a free-to-play player, this might not apply to you. So let's talk about the patch itself. What is Global getting? So Global have Awakened Jihoon, Hololive collab still going on recently. So let's talk about the rest of the things. So we're gonna get a new event. So that's pretty cool. Global is not running any event right now as per se. So at least that's somewhere where you can use your Ethereum efficiently, right? So that's always going to be good. So this event is pretty cool. It's going to feature the Militia. So these three characters right here. Very cool story for them. Regarding Kang Minwoo, this is the only character that you can farm. So you don't have to pull for him. He's an SR. He is really strong. We're gonna talk about his kits later on. But for now, this is how the shop is like. You can see soldier cores. Because all these three characters, actually only two of them are soldier. Liuri is actually a counter, believe it or not. Okay, so counterparts for Choi Jihoon. I'm gonna talk about him, but he's not a must-have. Okay, so he's not like a must-have. If you miss out on him, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. He's much more niche. Wouldn't say that he's useless, but definitely much more niche, alright? So alongside with that, we also have Kang Minwoo, which I will talk about shortly. So this is the farmable SR. I don't think you guys should try to farm him. At least if you can farm him up to 110, if you have excess Ethereum, alright? If you're a Dolphin Whale, do that because he's actually quite good, he's actually quite strong. And then Liuri, which is a counter ranger. So Liuri is going to be a staple, very strong in PvP. So in PvP right now, if you think of a ranger in your mind, but maybe you don't think of Kim Sobin. Kim Sobin is not a PvP character, right? Maybe you think of Kawong, Yeon, maybe Rosaria. So those are the three. But Rosaria is quite hard to use. Awakened Yeon is kind of always there, right? And then Liuri is going to fill in that gap. Might be better than Yeon, might be better than Kawong, might be better than Rosaria in most cases, because she is designed to fight against counter teams. So definitely do not sleep on her. She's going to be very solid. Can she be used in PvE? Yes, but not many stages. Maybe in Shadow Hall, Shadow Palace, that place you can use her because she has ability that does bonus damage to counters. So there's counters there, but in most PvE stages, there's not much counters. So keep that in mind, right? And then you also have Replacer Bishop, which is going to make a rerun, and Replacer Knight. So let's talk about the three characters, give you guys an idea of how they work. I'm gonna, reference it on C server. So first thing is Kang Minwoo. So how strong is Kang Minwoo, right? So if you have been playing on Global right now, you might have noticed the admin shieldman is probably one of the better defender right now, like budget defender, right? If you don't have a defender, who do you use? People always recommend admin shieldman, either this guy or the KFC guy. But I don't recommend KFC guy as much. I feel like admin shieldman is better. It's just that a lot of players don't seem to be able to make him as good, or new players might struggle because new players tend to not invest in soldier gears. That's just how things are, right? You like counters, I get it. So people can make an KFC guy work, but it's harder to make this guy work because he's a soldier. But Kang Minwoo is going to sit in between admin shieldman and KFC. I strongly believe Kang Minwoo might actually be better because of his skill. So what makes Kang Minwoo really good is going to be this ability right here. If you see the passive skill, he has anti-counter damage resistance 30%. So that means he's going to receive 30% less damage from counter enemies, and this goes up to 40% instead. That is a lot. 40% reduction, that's like half the damage that reduce if you fight enemy counters. Alright, enemy counters, that's like, if you play global meta right now, sure, there are some mechs, there are some soldiers, but I think majority of the players are still running counters, alright? So this is the best staple way you want to counter like Replacer King. He actually fits very well in Replacer King teams. He can tank in front for you, but I think for Replacer King teams, you still want to use admin shieldman because more units, right? It's like ×2, right? But I feel like in most cases, he's very good to counter counters, if that makes sense, right? He also can, by the way, he can also share half of this effect with surrounding soldiers. So surrounding soldiers is gonna get 20% instead, anti-counter damage rest. That's insane. So it's like an aura thing. And then he has special skill which makes a bomb on the ground. So yeah, this homeless dude, insane. Please farm for the homeless dude for 2 costs. He is going to be a very solid defender. I still use him in a lot of PvE stage. If you use Britra, you will know what I'm talking about. So this bomb right here, look at this. Let me summon a ground unit. Right? And then I'm gonna on the AI. They're gonna walk past. Look at that explosion. So that does decent amount of damage actually. Decent amount of damage. And it does knock them back as well. So that one is pretty cool. So yeah, he's pretty straightforward. Very strong in countering counter teams. You can see his stat right here. It's actually not bad. So look at his stat right here, right? 62,000 HP, about 1.2k defense, base defense. So more than this guy. This guy is 43k HP, slightly more defense, but this guy is times 2, right? So keep that in mind. Now let's talk about Choi Jihoon. How strong is this guy? He is not bad, but I wouldn't say he's a must-have. So this guy is like in between, not really stable, but the thing that makes him really strong is I think the best place for him to shine is in Britra raids. If you want to do better in Britra raids, so why is that? Because you can see this passive skill. Increase all ally rangers and snipers range damage by 10% while on the field. And I also can add crit plus 150 to the passive buff. So this is going to, if you run a lot of snipers, rangers, Castro Xiaolin awakens Yeon in raids with Ahab, this can buff them even more. But other than that, you can also use like Shinja and other things to buff. He's not like a must-have. This buff is decent 10%, but it's nothing special. Alright, Shinja give attack speed buff, which can be sometimes better or even much more flexible because that fits more to every other team compared to this one where you only can pair with snipers and rangers well, right? So he has a passive skill that blinds the enemies and also seal enemy skills. And this one is very cool. Every 5 passive attack, he delivers enhanced attack to the furthest target of the enemy range. This will always crit, inflicts 100% more damage on snipers. So you can see he can basically one-shot the back line. But in global, some of you guys might have realized we got rearm Eugene recently. So this guy actually has a skill, has a kit very similar to rearm Eugene. I personally prefer rearm Eugene if you want to one-shot the enemy backline. Rearm Eugene is also a Fury type. So this guy is like, you know, he's alright, but he has all passive, right? He doesn't need skill hits or anything. He can be good in soldier team for a decent sniper for 3 costs, but I do think that rearm Eugene provides more. Alright, that's something to keep in mind. If you have rearm Eugene, she's going to be much better in PvP in my humble opinion, even in soldier teams. So maybe unless you're using a specific soldier ship, you want that buff, right, overall. And last but not least, let's talk about Lee Yuri. Now again, Lee Yuri, not to be confused, she is a counter. When I was first playing the game and they all came in together, I was very confused. Why is Lee Yuri not a soldier? She's a counter, right? But she's part of the militia. So, Lee Yuri, what makes her really strong? Again, her ability to deal more damage to counter. So similar to not Choi Jihoon, but Kang Minwoo has a lot of anti-counter damage rest. Lee Yuri can do 40% more damage on counters, and she also has anti-counter damage rest 40%. So you can see how strong she is. Now, right now in global, you guys might not struggle with anything yet because Awakened Hilde can be countered with Ifrit or Aiming Rifleman, right? A lot of the tanks, Nayubin, can be countered with Ifrit or Aiming Rifleman. But in the future, once Awakened Jade comes, that guy is gonna be a bit tricky, alright? Ifrit might not cut it anymore because that guy has a lot of damage resistance from max. So Lee Yuri is gonna be staple, kind of, right, in the PvP later on. So you can see she also has the ability to throw grenade. And then the ultimate skill, basically, this one is quite cool. The ultimate skill instantly finishes counter with 30% or lower HP remaining. And she has the ability to finish 2 counters instead. So that's a very cool skill, alright? You guys know Awaken Hilde, Awaken, any Awaken defender. When the HP is low, the most annoying thing that can happen is enemy deploy a healer, a supporter, like Claudia, Evelyn, and heal them back up. But Liuri is gonna be able to negate that, right? I think she's going to be very cool to destroy all the Awakened defenders, which is why most players eventually, if you go to the high rank, they stop using Awakened defender once there's a lot of Liuri, because it's just not worth it, right? The investment cost is not worth it. The Awaken, Heal Day, Barrier, all those, you know, it's gonna get, doesn't matter, right? She's out to 30% HP, she's just gonna instantly get one-shotted, so something to keep in mind. Alright, now let's move on and talk about the remaining two, Replacer Bishop and Replacer Knight. So where do they lie right now? Replacer Bishop is pretty cool, it's just that I think it's harder to justify her. She's good if you want to play Rush, alright, Striker Rush. But now that we have Rearm Estarossa, it's probably going to be harder to use her, because the requirement to use her is she needs to be leader. But Rearm Estarossa also needs to be leader in PvP. So it's going to be a bit tricky, right? But she can be used in PvE for sure, right? Alongside with Replacer Knight. Replacer Knight is going to be one of the more annoying units to basically deal with Caster Selin. A lot of people ask me how to deal with Caster Selin. Kang might not be able to kill, so Replacer Knight may be a good option to distract Caster Selin a little bit. Hopefully, you know, try to do damage to her. Maybe not be able to kill her, but at least distract her long enough for you to kill enemies frontline. I think she's going to be very solid. Also Operator for Sigma, which I don't recommend you guys to pull. Just get her via the Task Planet Mall points. Let's go ARS right here. For the Young Harem, Han Sorim exclusive equipment, you can farm this. Danger Close, new season, and that's it. Horizon will be added to the standard pool. Alright, that's pretty cool for free-to-play players. So yeah, that's it for the global patch. Plenty of cool stuff, plenty of new units. Again, who do I recommend to pull? If you guys can afford it, pull for Liuri. She's very strong in PvP. But if you don't care about PvP that much, she's not like a super must-have. She's still strong in Danger Close from time to time. But yeah, there's a lot of characters that you can use there. Plus Rearm is now here. Caster Selin, Rearm Estarossa. You have those two. They're going to be more than enough for your damage needs, right? So in most cases, those are the staple for Danger. I mean, not Danger Close, for Shadow Hall. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think of the patch in global. As always, subscribe, give this video a like. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.